Right, welcome everybody. Here we are back for the next session, the next routine. I hope you've enjoyed the video so far. If you're interested in some live classes, please look at the description of the video, and then you will find a link to Sussex Physiotherapy, where I teach live classes as well. If you're happy with the videos, please do stick with the videos, put a like and subscribe. I thought together we can work on a little bit more through the core, through the center. So we're going to try and get a little bit of a load going. If you need to stop, stretch, have a rest, stretch and have a rest whenever you need to. If you feel that you can progress, stick to the easiest, the lower option, and then see if you can try and churn as much repetitions as possible. Just making sure that the quality ones, not quantity. So I'd rather you do 5 good ones than 10 rushed ones. So really focusing on the center, really focusing on the core. When you're ready, lowering yourself all the way down until you're resting on the back. The back of the head is resting on the mat. The back is in neutral. Lower back is nice and soft. The hips level, hip bones and pubic bone nice and level at the top. I'm not tilting backwards, I'm not tilting forward. Connecting through the center, feel that gentle tension wrapping through the middle. I'm going to lift my right leg up into tabletop, and then I'm going to pick up the left leg too. If you find that the double tabletop is a bit too much at the moment, I can feel it immediately in my lower back, is the pulling, is the straining, then I'm going to cheat. I'm going to pull the knees a little bit closer to the chest, so I'm going to make the legs a little bit lighter, encouraging the back to go into a slight flexion, into a slight imprint. So keeping both legs raised, I'm going to maintain the tension through the bottom of the belly, and then I'm going to start extending one leg away. As the right leg extends away, I want my left leg to stay nice and still. The tendency, if I lose control from the belly, is for the leg to start moving, so everything tends to drop forward. See if I can really try to hold the pelvis back, see if I can hold it through the belly. I'm going to ease the right leg back, I'm going to hold the right leg there, and then I'm going to extend the left leg away. So it doesn't matter if I can reach very far, if I can drop the leg very much, just making sure that I'm aware of the tension at the front of the belly. The pelvis has not been pulled forward, the belly is not suddenly popping up, it's not bulging, it's not doming. So I'm going to extend away, controlling one, easing back, extend away, controlling the other leg. The slower I move, the harder it is. The faster I move, the easier it gets, as it's mostly momentum carrying the leg forward and back. So see if I can try and think of a 3 counts. So I'm going to count for 3 to get the leg out, and then I'm going to count for 3 to bring the leg back. Making sure that I'm breathing whichever way around you want to breathe. I don't care if you exhale out or inhale out, as far as you're breathing, and then you're sticking to that pattern, so you're not holding the breath. So I'm happy with my movement, I feel quite comfortable here. I feel that I can progress. I'm going to raise the arms up and towards the ceiling, and then this time I'm going to start paying attention to the top of the belly, so the bit that attaches to the rib cage. As the right leg extends away, I'm going to start reaching my left arm behind. Now, I don't want my hips to tip forward, but at the same time, I don't want my rib cage to start sticking out. I don't want my ribs to flare. I want the ribs to stay connected. So almost as if I were trying to press the back of the rib cage down into the mat. See if I can try and find that connection between the ribs and the belly. I'm going to ease my way back, and then I'm going to extend my left leg and my right arm away at the same time. Easing them back, and then swapping them over again. So controlling from below, controlling from above, making sure that it doesn't feel as if the belly is stretching, is popping up, the chest is not lifting. I can feel a nice strong tension, as if I was trying to hold my ribs nice and close to my hips. Everything is closed, everything is tight, everything is compressing in. I'm still breathing, I'm still going with my breath. I'm happy here, I feel comfortable here. I don't need to change anything, I'm going to stay here. If I feel that I can progress, then this time I'm going to lift the head off the ground. So I'm going to lift the head off the floor, shoulders off the ground too,
trying to bring the head as upright as possible. The further back my head is, the more my SCM or whatever to stiffen up, the more pressure into the back of my neck there will be. So see if I can really climb it on top of the chest. The belly's nice and tight. I'm going to keep the pattern going. I'm going to extend my right arm and the left leg, and then I'm going to ease back. And then you might find if your head is off the ground, that as the arm reaches behind, you feel yourself dropping. I want to keep that lift. So if your head is up, I want the head and the shoulders to stay up. If I find that's too much, I'm just going to keep my head down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. I want the legs to stay up. I'm going to release the shoulders and the head down, opening the arms out to the side, turning the palms to face up and towards the ceiling, squeezing the knees together. I'm going to start taking the legs over to the right. Imagine with your knees to be drifting towards your elbow. So I want to take my knees as close to my elbow as possible. I want my left shoulder to stay on the ground as I'm rotating my way to the side, easing my way back to the center, and then I'm going to take the legs over to the left. Just trying to take the knees towards the left elbow, making sure that the legs are staying tucked in. If my legs are start opening out, then the back starts arching again. So see if I can keep it tight, keep that tension at the front of the belly, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. If I feel that the legs lifted are just a bit too heavy for me, the movement feels too much, then I'm going to keep the same movement going, but I'm going to keep my big toes, my feet on the ground. Just making sure that the feet are together and the knees are together, as the tendency is to start sliding and flopping the leg. If my legs are flop, then the rotation is limited. The obliques don't really need to work. I really want to get the side of the belly to tense. This is trying to bring the rib cage and the lower back, and then the hips are back to the middle, recentering the legs, recentering the hips. If my legs are up and I still feel quite comfortable here, then I might want to progress that further. So on the next one, instead of keeping both knees bent, I'm going to extend that left leg away, keeping the knees together, making sure that the leg doesn't drift away. I'm going to take the legs to the right. Imagine with your left foot to be touching your right hand. So I'm going to try and keep the legs closed, bring them over to the side, easing them back to the center. I'm going to switch them around, and then I'm going to move over to the other side, rotating the other way. Side of the belly, pulling your way back to the center, and then I'm going to switch over. So it doesn't matter if the leg is not straight. If my hamstrings are tight, if I straighten up the leg will tend to drop. So I'm going to try and straighten it as far as my hamstrings will allow me to. I'm just making the leg longer, so it's a little bit heavier to move. And then if I'm still happy with the movement and I feel that I can progress it further, then I'm going to double the load. So instead of keeping one leg straight, I'm going to straighten both, and then taking them both over to the right, bringing them back to the center, and then both over to the left, and then back to the center. Turning the head to look in the opposite direction. Really encouraging the shoulder to stay on the ground, just making sure that the shoulder is not lifting away, is not pulling away. So I can feel the side of the belly a little bit more loaded, working a little bit more. If I feel that I'm fatiguing, I'm losing control, I feel that the movement is getting floppy, it's not good, then I'm going to drop down a level. If my legs are straight, I'm just going to bend the knees. If my knees are bent, I'm just going to drop the feet to the ground. So see if I can keep the movement going at a lower level, but still with the same quality, with the same control. We're going to try 5 more. So I'm going to take the legs over to one side, squeezing them back to the center, and then lowering down the other way. Same as I did for the front to back movement. The slower and controlled movement is, the harder it is. The faster the movement, the easier it gets. 2 more times. Going over to one side. Easing back to the center. Going over to the other. And then returning all the way back. As you get back to the middle, I'm going to keep the legs up on top of me. I'm going to tuck the hands to the back of the legs. I'm going to start with a little rocking forward and back. Now the tendency here, especially if your back is stiff or the belly's not strong enough, is to really trying to swing the legs. The legs are helping me, but they're not doing all the work. So see if I can connect it through the center, and then I'm going to just start with a little rocking. Progressively see if I can take myself up a little bit higher, and then I'm going to let myself drop back, and then a little bit higher, and then I'm going to let myself drop back. So see if I can find a nice gentle rocking. If possible, if you can get yourself up onto the seat bench, then see if you can try and keep your feet off the ground. So trying to lock into the balance, and then I'm just going to drop back again. Coming back, and then rolling back. Maintaining that little rocking going. So I'm happy here, I feel comfortable here. I'm going to stay here. If I feel that I can progress to the movement, then I'm going to start to challenging myself a little bit more. So the next one, I'm going to come up, I'm going to let go, and then I'm going to drop back again. Lift up, I'm going to let go, and then drop back again. So encouraging the front of the hips and the front of the belly to lock, just making sure that my legs or my body don't drop. Coming back, letting go, and then rocking back. And then if I still feel quite comfortable with the movement and I feel that I can progress it further, then on the next one I'm going to come up, I'm going to lock, and then I'm going to ease back. Just making sure that same as before, if the hamstrings are tight, the legs will tend to drop. I want the legs to stay high, so I'm going to try and create a nice sharp V, the sharpest I can, and then I'm going to let myself roll back. Come forward, hold, and then I'm going to rock back. 5, and rock. 4, and rock. 3, and rock. 2, and rock. Last one, we're going to lift up, find your balancing position, letting go with the arms if you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bending the knees, placing the hands down behind the hips, trying to lift yourself right up onto the tip of the fingers. So making sure that I'm not slumping into the arms. Big toes on the ground if I feel that I need a little bit of a rest here, a little bit easier here. Feet off the ground if I can. I'm going to start taking the legs from side to side. It's exactly the same as I did when I was lying down. Try not to let the legs move away from you. If they move away from you, that will pull you into that extension, into the arch position. So see if I can keep them tucked in. So I'm just rotating from one over to the other side. Noticing if the arms are straight or bent. The arms should be straight. So as the legs moving from side to side, I'm not transferring my weight from left to right. I'm staying in the middle. I'm just trying to work through the belly, through the legs. So see if I can keep the arms straight and making sure that I'm still light on the fingertips. I'm not sitting heavy into the hands. Eventually, I want to try and see if I can keep the hands so light that I might actually be able to lift them off the ground. 7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to the middle, taking the hands to the back of the legs. Can we go back into that little rocking? So I'm going to rock back and then come forward. I go with the arms if I can, and then rock back, come forward. I go with the arms if I can. Same options as before. Holding, keeping the knees bent, getting into that nice high teaser, or going back and then holding and rocking back again. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, we're going to hold it up there again, so finding the balance, placing the hands out to the side, the fingertips light, lifting up through the chest, keeping the knees bent, feet down, feet up, straight legs if I can this time, and then I'm going to get into my little can-can from one over to the other side, the same as before. I'm not interested in a big movement, I'm interested in a good movement. So can I keep my arms straight as the legs are moving from side to side? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back. Bending the knees, dropping the feet, letting the body go down onto the mat, allowing the belly a little rest, extending the legs away, allowing the hips to open, front of the belly to relax. It's a little bit more activation through the hips. I can feel the connection a little bit stronger to the bottom half. I'm going to try and see if I can encourage the same similar connection top half. So first the thing, I'm going to try and work into inner range. So what I want is to guide the belly into a tighter position, into a stronger compression. So I'm going to bend the knees, walk the feet nice and close to the hips. Keep them close to the hips, as the tendency will be to walk them away, as you will want to sit up, as that's easier. So I'm going to keep the feet nice and close to the hips or to the bum. I'm going to reach to the back of the head, and then supporting the head, I'm going to tilt the chin down to the chest, lifting the head and the shoulders off the ground. I'm going to curl up as I can. The belly's drawing in. I can feel that tension pulling me forward, lifting me up. I feel that I can't go any higher with the belly. I physically can't tighten up any more than this. So I'm going to use the arms to help me tighten up more. I'm going to let go of the head, grab hold of the legs, behind the legs, around the back of the bum, wherever, inner thigh if you rather. I'm going to pull myself a little bit deeper into that flexion, into that compressed position. I'm not trying to sit up, the opposite. Remember, the feet is really close to the hips. I'm going to hold myself here. Now I want the belly to keep me there. So I'm going to stay here, let go with the arms. I'm not going to drop. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to the head, shoulders and head go back onto the mat. Stride again, letting the chin drop, letting the shoulders roll forward, lifting up as high as you can. Hold it there. Can't go any higher. Let go with the hands, grab a hold of the legs, pull yourself a fraction higher. Hold it there. Let go with the arms, so don't drop. I know it's hard, I know it's hurting, but try to keep the video on. Don't stop it now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands go back to the head, shoulders and head go back onto the mat.
3 more of this. Tilting the chin, lifting the head, lifting the shoulders, coming up. Let go of the head, grab hold of the legs, pull yourself a fraction higher. Stay there. Let go with the arms, don't drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hands go back to the head, shoulders and head go back onto the mat. I know it's hurting, and especially now because it's hurting, the tendency will be to lean over your stronger side. One side of the belly is normally stronger than the other. Making sure that as you're lifting, you're still lifting centered, you're not slightly wonky. So tilting the chin, lifting the head, lifting the shoulders, coming up, holding the lift, let go of the head, grab hold of the legs, pulling yourself a fraction higher. Stay there, let go with the arms, so don't drop. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands go back to the head, shoulders and head go back onto the mat. Last time, tilting the chin, lifting the head, lifting the shoulders, coming up. Hold the lift, let go of the head, grab hold of the legs, pull yourself a fraction higher. Stay there, let go with the arms, don't drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hands go back to the head, shoulders and head go back onto the mat. Giving the head a gentle roll, making sure that the neck doesn't feel too stiff, too tight. Extending the arms and the legs away, the belly a quick stretch if you needed to do so. So I can feel the stronger compression, I can feel the stronger tension. What I want is now to add a little bit of oblique work, so a little bit more tension through the side of the belly. So to that initial crunch, I'm going to add a twist. So I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to rotate to one side. So I'm going to tilt the chin, lift the head, lift the shoulders, come up. I'm going to reach across with my left arm, and then I'm going to grab hold of my right leg. Now what I want is my left shoulder is already off the ground, my shoulder blade is off the floor. My right shoulder blade is on the floor. What I want is to try and clear that shoulder blade off the mat. So I'm going to pull myself up a little bit higher. Now it's off. Can I keep it there and let go with that arm? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing down. I'm going to switch the arms around and then do the same thing to the other side. So tilting the chin, lifting the head, lifting the shoulders. I'm going to reach the right hand to that left leg, hooking the hand behind the leg. My right shoulder is off the ground. Can I clear the left shoulder blade off the floor too? Holding it there. Let go with the arm, don't drop it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Releasing all the way back. One more time on each side. So I can clearly feel the right and the left side of the belly. So see if I can focus on that tension. So lifting the head, lifting the shoulders, coming up. With the left hand I'm going to reach across to the right leg. Left shoulder blade is off the ground. See if I can clear the right shoulder blade off the mat too. Keep it there, don't drop it. Let go with the arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Easing back. Swapping side. Left hand to the head. Right arm up. Lifting the head, lifting the shoulders. Hooking that right hand to the back of that left leg. Trying to clear that left shoulder blade off the mat. Hold it. Let go with the arm. Don't drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And releasing back. Allowing the neck a little rest. Allowing the belly a little stretch if you need that stretch. And then we're going to finish off. Last exercise, we're going to try and put top and bottom together. I'm trying to get the obliques active too. So we're going to get into a crisscross. We're going to start to slow, we're going to add some speed, and then we're going to try and slow it down again. What I want is to use the slow to get control. So it's making sure that as we go faster, the body doesn't suddenly start going all over the place. So last effort. Hands to the back of the head. I'm going to curl both knees right into the chest, lifting the head and the shoulders off the ground. Imagine your nose to be going between your knees. So I'm going to try and bring them closer together. Now with my right shoulder, I'm going to try and touch my left knee. Not my elbow, but my shoulder. So I'm going to really try to lift and twist. I'm going to extend the right leg away at the same time, twisting to the left. Then I'm going to swap the legs and then swap the shoulders, twist in the other way. Then come back and then twist in the other way. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slower. 1, 2, 3, control, 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 control. 4, shoulder to the knee, knee to the shoulder. 2, last one, and releasing down. Extending the legs away, extending the arms away, stretching down the front of the belly, stretching down the front of the hips. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give me a nice long pull with the all of the right side of the body. So right arm, right leg. See if you can reach further. See if I can try and create a little tension, a little stretch down the side of the rib cage, the side of the waist. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back, swapping side, left arm, left leg, reach long, reach wide. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back. Bringing yourself back to the center, reaching forward into the arms, tilting the chin to the chest, lifting the head, lifting the shoulders, strong through the center, all the way up to the top, using the arms to help if I need to. As you get to the top, taking the legs around to the side, finding a comfortable seated position, reaching the hands behind the back, really trying to get a nice opening across the front of the chest. I'm going to keep the fingertips to the ground, squeezing the shoulder blades together, squeezing the shoulder blades behind, sending the breastbone, sending the rib cage up and towards the ceiling. See if I can create a nice opening across the front of the chest. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back. Releasing the shoulders, releasing the arms. And then top work. Well done. So I'll hopefully see you soon for the next video. Any suggestion, any request, please comment below, and then I'll try to record whatever you feel that you need to be strengthening with, whatever you need to be working with. For now, ciao.